Have you ever deleted an Instagram post? Or more importantly, have you ever deleted an Instagram reel? If you've ever done this, you might be hurting your Instagram growth. I've had conversations with people where they would delete their posts or the reels if it didn't perform well the very first day. This brings me to my first reason of why you're not growing on Instagram, and that is because you're deleting your Instagram reels. Here's why you shouldn't delete your Instagram reels. What a lot of people don't know is that there's something that's called delayed explosion when it comes to Instagram reels. Unlike Instagram feed posts, where the success of the post relies on the initial engagement of the post, Instagram Reels doesn't need initial engagement within the first half hour or hour of posting. Of course, initial engagement always helps, but if you notice that you posted an Instagram Reels and you're not getting a lot of views within the first day of posting, don't delete it because you're able to gain more traction over time. This video, for example, initially it didn't perform well on my page. It only got about 100,000 views on that video within the first few days. And 100,000 views is pretty low for my page usually. But after a week or so, the number of views jumped from 100,000 views to over 3.4 million views. Reason number 2 of why you're not growing on Instagram is because your Instagram photos doesn't relate to your content or the caption of the post. I'll show you an example. Here are the insights of 2 of my feed posts. There's a sunset photo that got over 173,000 reach, and I got 90 follows from this photo. And then the infographic over here has 128,000 reach and 93 follows. Even though the infographic got lower reach, it actually gained me more followers from that post because the photo also related to the caption of the Instagram post and also related to the hashtags that I use. So I actually gained a lot of targeted followers. You need to make sure that the photos that you post relate to your content and your niche. The third reason why you're not growing on Instagram is because you don't have a clear niche. Have you ever had a post that performed really well for your page? Maybe you got over 1 million views per post, or maybe you got more likes and comments than usual per post, but you barely gained any followers. If you have really good reach, but not a lot of people are converting into actual followers, this may be because your profile doesn't have a clear niche. For example, maybe you post one video about a fashion hack on your Instagram page, and maybe it performed really well and got over 3 million views. But if that was the only video that you posted about fashion, those people will visit your profile, and if they don't see anything in your bio or any other posts related to fashion, they're probably not going to follow you because they're looking for more fashion content. This is why you need to make sure that your profile has a very clear and defined niche so people know exactly what to expect and why they should follow you. You can do a quick test on your profile to see if you have a clear and defined niche by asking someone who you haven't told who your niche is, could be a stranger, could be a friend, and ask them to take a look at your profile and see if they can identify what niche you're in within the first couple minutes. If they can guess what your niche is within the first couple minutes, then you're on the right track. But if they struggle to guess what it is, then you might need to optimize your profile a little bit more and make it very clear what your niche is. The next reason of why you're not going on Instagram is something that you might not want to hear. I'm going to be very brutally honest with you. Have you ever looked back at your old photos and scrolled all the way down, look back at the very first few photos you posted on Instagram? Did it ever make you cringe and make you wonder, why did you ever post this, or why did you ever think this was good enough for a post? You probably thought that the photo or the post was really good at that time when you posted it, but now when you're looking back on it, you probably realize it's not really good content. The fourth reason of why you're not growing on Instagram is because your content is just not good enough, even if you think it is. And trust me, I've been through this too. I'm actually so embarrassed, and it makes me cringe at the content I used to post because I actually thought it was good back then. A lot of people tell me, Nicole, I've been trying everything on Instagram. I tried hashtags, I post every single day, but I'm just not growing on Instagram. The algorithm must hate me. But when I go and take a look at their profile, I see blurry photos, I see text that's cut off in videos, I see the lighting is really bad in photos, and they're not providing valuable content. If you're trying all these different growth strategies on Instagram and you're consistent and your profile is optimized and you're still not growing on Instagram, it might be because your content is just not good enough. And I say that as a very big maybe because of course there's a lot of other factors to it. Maybe you're not doing the Instagram growth strategies properly, maybe you're not optimizing your profile properly, but it might just be because your content is just not good enough. This is why in the Insta Evolution, I teach my students how to find quality content ideas and how to create quality content. In my program, The Insta Evolution, I provide the same exact formula that I have used to get 30 of my videos to over 1 million views and how I gained 95,000 followers in just 1 week. If you would like to join the Insta Evolution, I'll have it in the link in the description box below, and you can click on the link and find all the information there and also to enroll. Reason number 5 of why you're not growing on Instagram is that you're not consistent with the number of times that you show up on Instagram. Let me ask you this, how would you feel if you went on a date with a guy and from the first date onward, he texts you every single day, good morning, good night text, and he texts you every day consecutively for 1 whole month. And then all of a sudden, one day he just ghosts you. You probably wouldn't like that, right? And you probably wouldn't be able to trust that that man won't ghost you again if he decides to reach out to you again. I'm sure we've all experienced that, am I right, ladies? My ex. Your followers are you in that situation, and the man in this scenario is the number of times you post on Instagram. Your followers will unfollow you if you stop posting for a while on Instagram, but also they might lack the trust in you to show up consistently on Instagram. You don't need to post every day on Instagram, but you do need to be consistent. So if showing up 3 times a week is what you can commit to, then commit to that and be consistent with that. Reason number 6 of why you're not growing on Instagram is because you're not consistent in how you show up on Instagram, in your stories and in your captions, etc. If you ever unfollowed someone on Instagram, ask yourself why. It probably is the same reason why people are unfollowing you. And most of the time it's because they're not posting the type of content that the follower followed them for in the first place. Because I like talking about my exes so much, think about the time when you started dating someone and initially they put in all the effort. They took you on really nice dates, they got you flowers really often, and then 6 months later or maybe a year later, the dates start not happening anymore and the flowers not showing up anymore. And you're kind of like, this isn't the man I dated a year ago. Why is this happening? And so it's the same with your followers. Your followers followed you for a reason, and if you're not showing up consistently, like the man wasn't showing up consistently, not getting you flowers anymore, then you're going to not want to date the guy, right? Hopefully. And so same with your followers. Your followers are not going to want to follow you anymore if you're not showing up consistently like you were when they first started following you. It could be something that's related to your brand, or it could also be the type of videos that you post or the type of content that you post. Reason number 7 of why you're not growing on Instagram is because you're not using the proper hashtags. When I went to LA, I met up with some girls, and one of the girls, I actually took a look at her Instagram page because she was asking me for some tips, and I took one quick look at her Instagram hashtags. And I noticed that she wasn't using the hashtags that her target audience were searching for. When you're using hashtags that your target audience is searching for, this will attract the targeted followers that are actually interested in the type of content you post, which will in turn boost your engagement because they're probably going to like and comment on the post, which will also in turn push your content out more to more people and to attract those targeted followers. I do have a full YouTube video on how to use Instagram hashtags and how to find the proper ones. So if you haven't watched that video, go click the icon over here, and I'll also put the link in the description box below. It's important to note that using proper hashtags on Instagram can increase your reach, but you also need to do the rest of the things in this video and other things combined with hashtags to increase followers on Instagram. If you're serious about growing your Instagram and monetizing your Instagram, I do have my full online program called the Insta Evolution, and I'll put the link in the description box so you can enroll and find out more information about that. And if you want more free Instagram tips, be sure to check out these other videos on my channel.